Welcome, welcome. Welcome to this new live where today we're going to talk about realizing your possibilities, because this is an essential step in understanding how to manifest the life you want instead of the life that you think you have to be living. And this helps you get out of the cycle of constantly attracting situations that are uncomfortable for you or that you don't want in your life. And this relates to chronic pain, definitely, because we often focus on the pain, instead of focusing on the relief. And this is what we need to learn, because if we have learned pain as a coping mechanism, which that's what chronic pain is. It's a coping mechanism, the way you tense up in your uncomfortable situations and the way your body tenses up. And at one point, it started probably subconsciously from a place of fear. And we have perfected this mechanism until we can't control it anymore. So we have to go to the beginning, realize first of all that we can change this and we can lead a life which we want. And then we focus on the right places, focusing on the relief in terms of chronic pain, on the ways of easing your life, of releasing tension from your body and your life in general, instead of still manifesting that tension and that uncomfortableness in your life. And so the first step, definitely, in manifesting anything you want, in changing anything, is realizing that you can change it, is realizing that you have the power to change your life significantly in every single way. But you not being aware of your power, you not being aware of how powerful your mind is, your energy, your whole being, your body, this is what holds you back. This is what keeps you in the position of a victim of your life. This is what holds you back from even trying, because you circle in a mindset that is not healthy and you're supporting with your power that unhealthy mindset that keeps rolling, and it goes into overthinking and it goes into over tension, chronic pain, over eating, or over badly treating yourself, over self-punishing yourself, which then manifests instead of what you want. So you need to learn how to realize in every situation, especially in the triggering situations, you have to learn how to step back and realize, wow, I'm in charge of that situation. I know where I can change my mindset in order for the situation to change. And a good way I suggest you do this, or what works for me in many situations, is realizing what you want to achieve from that situation, from your life. What is it that you want? And especially we call this in the coaching business, we call this the vision, which can be anything. It can be the way how you want to feel, the way how you want to live your every single life, or day of your life, the way of what you want materialistically or physically, or what you want to experience. It's good to focus on the feeling, because the feeling is first step from the energy. So first we have the energy, then we go into the feeling, the emotions, the thoughts, then the body, and then the physical world. So we need to understand that we are starting to create already from the place of energy. That the things we see around us, the physical reality, is only the final product of what we're creating. It's really the final step. That's the final click when that desired amount of money arrives, or that desired thing that you wanted to buy, you can buy it now, or that the desired person for your desired relationship enters your life. You need to understand these are only the last step of how manifesting works, of how you create your life. And especially if we feel like we're repeating situations and they keep occurring in our life, or accidents, this is only the final product of what we have created. And it starts in the subconscious mind. It starts first in the energetical level, as I talked about it in the energetical transfer in another live a few days ago. So make sure to check that if you are not familiar with the energetical transfer. But you need to understand that there's so much going on of what you can't see, but you can enter this field. It's a skill you learn to become sensitive to this, and as you learn to become sensitive to this, you learn how to feel in a healthy way, how to be aware of your energy, that your feelings and emotions are only your energy. You don't need to outburst your emotions at someone if you learn how to work with them, and understanding that everything starts in the field that you can't see, and then you create the situations on the daily basis. And so realizing definitely that you have all the possibilities. It will never be someone from the outside defining your possibilities. We all have the same connection to the infinite, whatever you want to call it, life or universe, and we all have that same connection. It's only about how we take care of this connection, how much we are aware of it, and how much we remind ourselves of the fact that, yeah, I create my situations, therefore I choose how I want to create them. And this is what holds us back often, because often we feel like we're in the cycle of life, like we have to do all the list of things. This is what we have to do. But you need to come back to yourself, and who told you you have to do that? Those are the limiting beliefs that you have adopted from childhood, any form of education, any form of what you're watching. This is the initial package, as I call it, inside your mind, inside your body. All the cells have been programmed a certain way, the way you allowed it, probably from 0 to 7 years of your age, where you weren't aware of allowing it, and that's okay. But now we have tools on how we can revisit or re-understand why we chose certain coping mechanism. For example, why we chose pain into our lives to be a good coping mechanism instead of relief, instead of ease, instead of happiness. Because we have always chosen on some level, because we needed this coping mechanism. And once we reach that point of realizing, wait, I don't want that anymore, and I can change it. No one else from the outside or nothing else from the outside will heal the essential core of my situation, of the fact that I don't want to call it problems because that sounds negative, but it is stored energy in my body that allows me to experience the uncomfortableness. And I say allows me on purpose, because we allow ourselves to cope this way. We have learned to cope, for example, through pain, because once we are in the painful situation, we can pity ourselves, we can be the victim, we can separate ourselves from the connection of the whole. We can separate ourselves from others, from noise, from whatever, the overwhelming stuff. But this, realizing your possibilities, is about curating the connection with the infinite possibilities, becoming aware of them, becoming aware of your own power, and then creating it through your power, not going against your power. Because as soon as some part of our life takes too much effort for us to achieve, then we're going over ourselves, over our own power. So if we have to go only in one direction of our lives, and then the others maybe are suffering or aren't balanced, then, and if it takes all of our power to achieve that point, and especially if we think that by achieving something we will fix the other parts of our lives, this will never work, because this way you're only separating from yourself and using all your energy in order to achieve something you think you want. But you need to understand what is it you really, really want. And this takes a lot of honesty, this takes a lot of understanding, a lot of awareness, because often we think what we want and we think that this will save our whole reality, for example, money, relationship, etc. But once we fix our reality, once we curate the healthy connection with ourselves, with the infinite possibilities, then we attract all the missing parts easily. We just attract it because this is what we have given ourselves. So in any manifesting, in any desiring of what we want, we need to understand that in every moment of the day, there's an opportunity of realizing that we create our situations, and the way we are at the end of the day, the way we are feeling throughout the day, this is a choice. We choose how we want to feel, we choose what we want to experience. But often we keep going in that direction, repeating the same unhealthy habits until they're too much, until the pain gets too much, until the relationship gets too unsupportable, until the job gets too hard, until the lack of money grows, because we are feeding the tension, we're feeding the lack by focusing on it, by repeating it, by doing it actually. And the way to change this is understanding that what we focus on multiplies. This is what I put in the stories today, where I asked you, what would the dream day look like? What would your dream day look like? What kind of activities would you fit into the day if it was regardless of the money that comes in exchange, if it was regardless of what people think, of what you think, etc., etc. Okay, how much of resting would be understood in your day? How much of mindfulness exercises, or like being there with yourself, being there with your mind, being there, or eating healthy, or how much of each of these aspects, or spending time with your family, with your loved ones, how much of these aspects would be contained in that day? And the first way in getting closer to that ideal day, because this ideal day is not just something. You can absolutely create that ideal day by changing your beliefs, by working with your energy. And sooner than you think, this can manifest. But it can only manifest once you start doing the things you want to be doing. This is how they multiply. This is how you strengthen them. And this is how you manifest them into your life. And so taking that ideal day helps, writing it down, exactly little situation of how you would imagine, how would you feel how you want to feel when you wake up, how you want to feel when you go to sleep, how do you want to feel throughout the day, what relationships you want to have with people throughout the day, what kind of conversations you want to lead throughout the day with yourself and with others. So realizing this and taking one thing and implementing it into your life just for that one day and seeing how that fits. If you're fully rejecting it, you might even figure out that's not what you wanted, that doesn't bring that satisfaction, but that satisfaction is instant. And it really, I repeat, doesn't depend on any things out there. And usually for the things we really want, we don't even need things from outside. We don't even need more money for doing the things we really want, because if you look under the layers, if you are maybe exhausted from your life right now, you're exhausted from the amount of pain, because I talk about migraines which can last days and hours, and after the migraine we're usually absolutely exhausted, so you want to rest after that migraine. But especially in this exhausting moment, if you look at it really, really honestly, you might figure out that what you want in your day more would be resting, being there with yourself, really resting after the migraine, before the migraine. Okay, not changing what is in your life, literally, but maybe even doing less, reacting less to things, just observing the situation, just being. Because being is something that we often neglect, and we substitute doing for being. Okay? But doing will never bring us the feeling of being. And this is why everything fast, we have led to believe that we must keep going and we must be doing, and that the doing will help us in the being. That after some time of doing, whatever it is, fast fashion, fast construction, fast food, whatever it is we think we will, after that time, we will have time for, is what only separates us even more from the being. And the further we go into the pain, into the unhealthiness, stressful lifestyle, etc., that same way we're probably gonna have to be coming back to ourselves and learning step by step in reverse. Wow, actually what I want is to be patient. Actually what I want is to be satisfied with myself. Actually what I want is to feel good in my body, to feel good in my life, to have nice relationships with my family. Maybe these are actually the things I want. And I want to be rested. I want to eat regularly. I want to be able to make time for things I want to do, and I want to create in correlation with my values instead of doing what I think I need to be doing. But this is the problem, because whenever, the other side of these things is whenever you're doing the things you think you have to be doing. Of course I have to pay rent. Of course I have to go to work. Of course I have to eat healthy because I don't have time, eat unhealthy fast because I don't have time for eating healthy, or I don't have money for eating healthy. Or of course I have to, whatever there is. The problem with this is, whenever you are doing what you think you have to be doing, you are separating from the truth of what you want. You're further and further away from what you want, and you are creating you're supporting the unhealthiness. You are supporting the values of fast food whenever you eat fast food, of fast life, stressful life, whenever you work in a stressful environment, in a stressful job. You're supporting low wages whenever you work for a low wage. You're supporting pain whenever you are cycling in pain. Okay? You're supporting lack whenever you believe you don't have enough of money, of food, of etc. But the true way in changing this, it's in reverse. It's in reverse of, okay, well, I determine my value. I am in charge of my time. We all have 24 hours, and it's fascinating how some of us seemingly achieve that, but we all believe that we're achieving something. And one way or another. Some of us believe we're achieving something by not doing so much, doing the minimum and gaining the maximum. Some of us believe they're achieving maximum while they're overworked, overstressed, and are gaining some sort of compensation for that. And that choice is yours. In which polarity you're going to be focusing. But that one is going to be growing. Okay, so especially with pain, I talked here about the steps on how to cope with pain, how to identify pain, how to understand it, how to understand that pain is yours, it's your energy, it's your closed potential. You can imagine pain whenever it occurs, and the stronger it is, that those are the possibilities you are closing. That's why it hurts. Because the possibilities want to expand. They want to see what you're capable of. They want to see what you can give to this world, what you can share, what experiences, what you can learn. Okay, they want to move your limits. They want you to go through that mind full of stuff, full of old beliefs, and they want you to go sort through your mind and choose only those beliefs that are aligned with you, that you want to keep. Okay? Because observing our mind, that is the limit. Okay? Our mind, in a way, the subconscious mind, is the limit. Our conscious mind thinks, I want this, I want that. But the subconscious mind says, nah, you can't have that because remember what happened then. Remember your trauma from childhood. Remember that. Okay, that's the limiting belief that keeps us safe, keeps us in what we want, do, or in what we know. And this is what doesn't allow us to change the action. This is what holds us back from, wow, what if I try resting for 1 hour? What comes up? The guilt. The patterns of the limiting beliefs. You can't because. And this is the subconscious mind telling you what you can or cannot do. But you must be aware, you must become aware and realize that you are the one who made the choice. Once upon a time, you made the choice of what is possible or what's impossible for you. You made a choice to be rich or poor, wealthy, healthy, all these choices. You don't know about it. You're not aware of it. It was a long time ago. We create our financial mindset in our childhood from 0 to 7 years. We create our coping mindset, our emotional mindset, our whatever mindset. The whole mindset is created in our childhood. So we don't remember we did this. Okay, we chose. We made the choices. We don't remember that. But those were the right choices for us. They helped you get until here. There's no need for feeling, angry about it or disappointed with yourself. On the contrary, it's a way of acknowledging, wow, what good choices I made, that it allowed me to survive, that it allowed me to get until here, to go through all those situations. But as soon as you feel Like there's more out there for you, especially if you're listening to this because you feel like you can live more, you can have more, maybe you came here for more. Whenever you become even jealous of someone, it's a sign of, wow, it's an invitation. I can have more. I can do more. I can experience more. Whatever we see and admire, it's what we admire because it's possible for us. It's also contained in us, the same way it's contained in someone else. And we see it because we think, wow, everyone must admire this person or this company or something. But it's only you, because you, something inside you, makes you believe, wow, it's possible for me. But usually we cope in the emotion of hate or fear, or the fear protects us. Now I can't be bothered. Not even gonna try to start learning about this, learning about my mind, about how it works, how fascinating it is. Not even gonna try to learn about my pain, how amazing and fascinating it can be, about my body, about my finances, about this and that. Okay, so this is the fear that helps us in what we know and in the safety space. And it's the limiting beliefs in our subconscious mind that create most of our daily operations. Those are the automatized operations. You get up and whatever you do, maybe you scroll on your phone, something that you know is not good for you, but you're still doing it because you think everyone does it, or I have to do it, there's no other way, I need at least this little pleasure, etc., etc. But it's up to you to stand in your power from this point, from today, and see, wow, what could I change? How could I change the daily habits? I could, if I don't feel like I have enough time for everything I want to do, I can wake up earlier and implement some healthy things into my life. And I know that over time, over a month, even using affirmations, using an affirmation every time I wake up and I say, wow, this is the best day of my life. Today is one of the best days of my life, maybe the best. And I only wait for good things to happen to me. And you fake it till you make it. You implement a new affirmation. You need to understand that the new affirmation is something to your mind like, what is this? Very scary, because your mind is constructed from all the beliefs that contradict this maybe. This is why it doesn't work instantly. Sometimes it will, once you work on your mind. So then it becomes easier to manifest it. That's why our success as people or as individuals goes exponentially. Because we are first learning, and then because all of it gets together. Okay, all the little actions you do, this is why it's so important to realize that every little action you're doing during your day, it's not gonna get lost. We often think that no one can see me, I'm doing this secretly, but you can see you. You are creating the habits, and the more you repeat something, this is the more you strengthen those habits. Okay, so this is why you can't hide from yourself. What you resonate to yourself is what the relationship will look like. What you decide, what's healthy for you, and those are the things you do. But if you do something that you think is unhealthy for you, but you're still doing it with believing, well, I won't, doesn't even matter, like, well, I'll just have a little smoke there, have a little drink there, have a little every single day, have a little dopamine boost on Instagram or something, and I will choose funny videos instead of educational videos. This is what does create our lives, our habits. This is why all the successful people had to change their habits and have to have many actions during their day, especially if they're doing something extremely complicated or complex. They're only doing it maybe 1 hour of the day, delegating the rest. Yeah, so becoming aware of, okay, I have the infinite possibilities. That's a fact. You have infinite possibilities. You create your life and your situations on the everyday basis. You create and choose what you feel, if you feel pain or any other emotions. And now you have to go honestly look at your daily life. You can take one day as an example. Write down all the things you do, and then be honest with yourself. Wow, is this one activity contributing to what I want to achieve? Is this contributing to what I want to achieve? And if not, just change one thing at a time. Just change the feeling after you wake up. Wow, this is the new start. Whatever happened before doesn't count. Now I make my decision. Now I free myself from all my past, from my experiences, from how I behaved, how they behaved, how traumatized I was, how I traumatized them, whatever. I start here and I go from there. Every day is a new opportunity for you to start fresh and realize that you have infinite possibilities, and by adjusting those actions, that's how you get ahead in life and ahead in pain healing journey. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll save it so you can watch it from the recording, and I'll see you again tomorrow on the next live. Have a great day.